Yo, you say, hold on 1 second. Let me swap us around. There you go. Yo, you saying people? What you saying,
Bet.
RSM, bro? We got Man United, Chelsea
Yes, sir.
preview.
Yes, sir.
We got man. You just baited my number out, by the way, live on the stream, bro.
Don't worry about it, bro. I could cut that out later in the stream.
No worries, no worries, no worries. Big up to everyone. Bless up to everyone in the chat. Bless up to Mustafa. Bless up to Bros Games. It's gonna be fun as fuck. Bless up to Melon as well. Bless up to RSM coming on, man. Check your channel out, bro.
What's up? What's up? Yeah, man. Big up, man.
How's
How's it going, bro?
I'm good, man. I'm good. Hold on. Yeah, RSM TV. I know it is. Yeah, RSM TV. Chelsea fan.
Yes, sir. Yes,
We're
sir.
gonna be doing Chelsea United preview. He's gonna be getting cooked because he's a Chelsea fan. You know, he can't cook me. It's impossible. But bless up to everyone in the chat. Bless up. I know you're live right now as well. Am I on the screen as well, or do I have to?
Yeah, you could look. You could look. You're on my screen.
Oh,
sure.
I thought I had to
Nah, bro. I got my ways.
Do you know what I'm saying? Hold on. Let me see if I can sort this out because we are quite. No,
that's fine. Just leave it there.
We'll be discussing the game, obviously. The actual game in itself is going to be pretty irrelevant. I mean, I assume we all probably think Chelsea are going to win because I don't really care about this game, and it will. Chelsea are fighting for top 5, so we'll just give you your 3 points. You know, what I mean, your second win against us in 6 years or something like that, something along them lines.
Something like that. It's. I mean, I think last season is when we broke the record. Not for Old Trafford. I think Old Trafford.
Massive.
Yeah, Old Trafford is still our record is still horrendous. But in terms of like the losing streak, yeah, we cut that last season. So.
Yeah. Old Trafford's 11 years or some shit like that.
Yeah,
we're going to discuss that. We're going to discuss all-time combined 11 for Man United versus Chelsea. Me and Liam did something last night, which we're going to do now. We're going to do in the stream as well. He done Real Madrid's current 11 versus Bayern next season 11. Right, so like a future Bayern. So obviously they think they're going to get Wirtz. So Wirtz is involved in it. So because we think we're going to get Cunha, Delap, Edison, and things like that, it's going to be like a future Man United 11. Obviously, there's no point doing it right now because if you're doing it off this season, Chelsea probably get about 8 or 9 players in. Do you get what I'm saying? But yeah, all time, it would be the all-time 11. That's we're going to do 2 combined 11s if that's all right, and we're going to discuss who finishes high next season because I know you seem to think that Man United are not going to be able to get top 5 next season, which I don't get how that's impossible if Forest was 17th last season.
Because I think that Forest have been longer. I mean, we could discuss it. We can discuss it later. But what do you want to talk about first?
We could do a combined 11 if you want, bro.
I think first, what I would want to ask you though is what you instead of combined 11, what do you expect to be your starting lineup for tomorrow? Because I'm assuming that we're going to see like United Academy kids, right?
I don't know. I have no idea because he might play. He played a full strength 11 against Bournemouth when we had Bilbao in the week. He might just try and keep players sharp. But I don't know.
Because what hasn't it been like in the past couple games, right? He brought back the lick got injured, right? He brought back he played Euro got injured. He played Mainu.
Euro's fine.
But he's not playing. He's not playing tomorrow though.
Yeah, he's not playing tomorrow. He won't play tomorrow.
So then, and what about Mainu? Because I think Mainu went off injured last.
No, he didn't. Mainu's calm. Mainu's fine. Mainu didn't start. He came off the bench. He didn't start in the last game.
Fair enough.
Mainu's fine. Everyone's fine except the usual players that are injured. The only one that got a stumbled toe was Euro. But we should. I still think we should be fine, man. As long as I don't care about this game as much, like in terms of the actual package of the game.
Yeah, well, for you guys, it's not like again, it's the same thing with Spurs on with their games, right? Like both of you guys got your eyes on the final more than anything else.
Yeah, exactly.
Do you think Ahmed, by Chaz asking, do you think Ahmed is going to start or come off the bench?
Ahmed, no, he'll start most likely.
Has he played a full 90 yet?
He hasn't got a muscle injury. Yeah, did he not play full 90 the other day?
I'm asking. I don't know. Has he played full 90 yet or no?
I'm pretty sure he did play full 90. I could be wrong. I'm pretty sure he did play full 90.
Let me check. No, he came off in the 83rd. But that's pretty much the full game. That's pretty much the full game. That's pretty much the full game. Yeah.
He's fine. He should be thingy.
Yeah, I mean, in terms of us, like we're not gonna have Jackson obviously because he got the red card.
What does that mean? Hold on. Both teams are bad. Also, you're a pulled pork. What does that mean?
I'm assuming he's talking about. I'm talking about his hamstrings. Yeah, like pulled pork.
Yeah, pulled ham. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. No, Euro didn't pull his. Euro stumbled his toe, so he's got a bit of a bruised toe. That's all that happened. He's
Damn.
fine. He'll be fit for the final. Do you get what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
So
He's
yes, but you're
Rice
definitely not.
made
But you're
both of
definitely
them.
not risking him tomorrow. Then definitely not risking him tomorrow.
No. I wouldn't risk any of him. I just wouldn't play. I just say to Chelsea, if we can just take a 2-0 win, we'll play our academy players.
So you don't even think we're gonna see Bruno? Like nobody?
Nah.
Legit?
No, I think we will. That's what I'm saying. I would personally. I do think we're going to play some because he's come out and said he's embarrassed about the fact that he's lost 1-6 or something out of 25 games, something like that.
Yeah.
So he's embarrassed. So maybe he might try and get a win.
I think outside of a relegation sides, the only win you've gotten has been Fulham.
No, he beat Man City as well.
Oh yeah, Man City. Yeah, true. I think that's it, right? And then everything else under Amram at the very least.
Yeah, he beat Everton 4-0. So that's the 3 game. So, I mean, might be 1 or 2.
That's tough.
Yeah, we're not relegated for a reason, bro. The relegation teams are shit.
No, they're awful. They're historically bad. Like
that's why I want Sunderland to come up. Sunderland and Leeds. Leeds are obviously straight back up. Sunderland next season and Leeds next season. There'll be 2 teams that actually come up and give it a go. They've got good stadiums, big fan bases, and they'll actually have money and they'll actually try and give it a go. And they'll probably end up staying up. At least one of them, at least. Well, do you get what I'm saying? Whereas if you get Ipswiches and fucking Southamptons, and it was Leicester, they just. I mean, Leicester was a decent little run, but overall they're just shit, bro. Do you get what I'm saying? So
yeah, I think I think it is crazy though that like you guys still haven't reached the 40-point mark. Do you guys think you will by the end of what's your last game?
Villa.
Oh shit, you might yo. Are you guys gonna get 40 points or no? Because that's crazy. Villa's gonna be fighting for the life.
We're on 38. Are we on 30 or 39?
39.
Yeah, we don't ever lose to Villa, but the thing is, because they're fighting for top 4. Well, I really could care less, but I'd rather them beat us and they can stop you getting top 5. That's what I'd like.
We'll see, because I think I agree with your assessment. I think it's gonna end up being. I think it's gonna be a mix of B team players, a bit of the A team players get subbed on second half. I think that's probably what's gonna end up happening. Most likely at the very least. But I don't know. I think we should do enough to win, just because you guys are going to be, especially with the people that get subbed on, they're not going to be, diving into challenges. They're not going to be trying to do anything crazy. They're just going to want to finish the game off.
As I say, just say to Chelsea, you can win 2-0. Don't put 5 or 6 past us. Just win 2-3-0. Luke Shaw will probably play. I think, to be honest, I think he'll start on Nana. He will start on Nana because he shouldn't start Bayenda. Bayenda's shit.
Yeah, Bayenda's really bad, bro. I ain't gonna lie.
It's terrible, bro. Honestly, as Saeed said, I said it as well, by the way, that a Turkish person without a beard connecting, you just don't trust him. Yeah,
he says suspect. Suspect
goal. Bro. Luke Shaw left centre back.
Yep.
I want to say he'll play Maguire and Lindelof. That's what I think he'll go with. He'll put. Okay. I will drop Mazraoui because I don't want Mazraoui to get injured, and he's already said Mazraoui's close to getting injured. So I'll put Mazraoui on the bench.
Damn.
Personally, I'll play Dorgu on the right. I'll play Dorgu on the right. Left wing back, I'll go Amas. In midfield, I'll go Bruno and I'll go Ugarte. Yeah, because I wouldn't. No, fuck that. I'll go Mainu and Ugarte. Not that I really care, but Mainu's his season's he needs to wait till next season. Yeah, but I don't think he's gonna have a good game today on Friday because we're trying that much. We don't want to get injured, and he's also against a midfield where he's next to Ugarte. He's up against Caicedo, and so Palmer. He's not going to have a chance. But just play him. Yeah, just play him.
Okay. Yeah.
So then you don't have to play Casemiro. Bruno, I'll play in the front 3. I'll play Bruno. In fact, I'll play Garnacho, Ahmad, and I play Mount up front. To be honest with you, I reckon. Do you know what I'm saying? Everyone knows about the former club curse. Do you get what I'm saying? They always score against their former teams. You still got 1 goal against Chelsea. Do you get what I'm saying? You still got to get a goal against Chelsea at the Bridge.
What I think is, the only person I'm really worried about is Ahmad, because I think he's good, bro. He's a good player, bro. Yeah, he's a good player. But that's why I think what's probably gonna happen is we're gonna have Cucurella kind of do what we did in the Liverpool game, where we just pin him on the player and that's it. And Cucurella just doesn't invert, just kind of pin him down, and we'll go from there. But yeah, for us, again, we don't have Jackson, so I think the backline is gonna pretty much remain the same. I think my only question is, right, do we really need to put Caicedo right back and to play Lavia against a rotated Manchester United side? I don't think so, So I think probably most likely what we're going to end up seeing is Probably Reece James back in the squad. Chalobah, Colwell, Cucurella, Caicedo, Enzo, Neto, Palmer, Madueke, and then probably maybe Tyreek George. Or if Tyreek George is gonna be on the wing, then it's gonna be Neto false nine. Because remember, we have literally zero. And I agree with this comment. A Mount goal versus us would be sickening. He's gonna get booed. He's gonna get booed every time he touches the ball. He's probably gonna get booed, bro. Real talk.
I don't know if he'll play, but I mean, I would play him. I play him up front personally.
I mean, he came on last season pretty much just to see Palmer score the game winner. Like that's pretty much what he came on for, bro.
Then Enzo started virtue signaling and started giving it the big one. Do you get what I'm saying? To make out that he's proper Chelsea. Do you know what I mean? But
listen, shout out Enzo, bro. Shout out Enzo, man.
One's won the Champions League with Chelsea. You know, the other one hasn't even played Champions League yet. So
yeah, but Mount was no. He has played Champions League first. But
Enzo did. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, he is.
He hasn't got finished in the top 4 yet.
Yeah, but Mount is a rat though. That's the thing. Like Mount is actually. You know how people were talking about how they thought Trent's video was fake and rehearsed?
Yeah, Mount's video was fake.
Did anybody see Mount's video? Like, did we just collectively forget that happened?
Yeah, even have blonde hair or some shit. Yeah, it was fake.
Bro, it was bad.
You can't blame them. Same with Trent, bro. They're just joining a bigger club. What else do you want them to do?
And what did he? Where's the bigger club right now on the table?
He's won more trophies at Man United than he would have won at Chelsea in that time.
He's been. Come on, we're not doing this. He played
he's been injured.
That's my whole point. He's been injured. Like even the cup game, like bro, he's been injured. Like, are we really running that narrative? Like he contributed at all to the campaign of winning any of the cups.
If he wins the Europa League, can we not count it? Because he scored 2 goals against Bilbao.
I would give you that more than I would give you the cup wins. I'll give you that. I would give you more of that than the actual cup wins. Like I think he played like a couple minutes off the bench and did nothing in the cup runs, pretty much. Like it was crazy.
Yeah, he did. He played against Liverpool, I think, but he was injured. You're right, he was injured. But listen, he bagged against Bilbao. He's starting to turn into the made in Chelsea Zinedine Zidane. So you know what I mean. Hopefully, I don't think we're going to sell him because I don't think anyone wants to buy him because he's so injury prone.
He's been. You guys need at least. You need a full season of him playing to be able to sell him because nobody's going to buy him right off an injury.
Yeah, him and Luke Shaw, they're just getting ready for the Zante season, you know what I mean, for the summer season and stuff like that, getting fit, getting in shape, and they'll be back injured again when it's winter time, most likely. But, yeah, he's a half-decent player when he's on it, Mason Mount, to be fair. But, yeah, but all in all, what do you go into the combined 11s? Or do you
I'm down. So we're going to go, well, score prediction, I'll probably do like a 3-1.
To be honest, I actually do think 3. Yeah, I do think we're going to score. Yeah,
that's what I think it's going to be like a.
So leaky.
It's a 3-1 or a 2-1.
That's one thing. You haven't asked defense in it, so.
What's actually the thing is like to get to our as defense, you have to get by the midfield, and I don't know if your midfield is going to win the midfield battle.
No, we're not.
That's one thing. Like that's why I think like I think teams that have good that can get past our midfields, who have good midfields, can really get to our backline and expose it, like Newcastle, for example. But teams that can't get past the midfield, can't get past Caicedo or Lavia, that's when I'm just like, I worry less about it. So that's why I think it's going to be like a 2-1 or 3-1.
4-2 Chelsea.
No way we're scoring 4, bro. I don't even remember, like 4? Bro, yeah. I don't even remember the last time we scored 4 on a Prem team, bro.
Oh, you got no striker in it.
That's what I'm saying. We have no Jackson. That's what I it's going to be like a 3. No. I think it's going to be a 3-1 or a 2-1. I don't think it's going to be...
No. Fuck that, bro. You know, if we tried, we'd win this game.
Yeah, but you guys aren't going to. That's my whole point. Everybody's literally going to be thinking, I don't want to get injured because I want to play in the final. Like even the people who are like B teams players that might be able to come off the bench, that's what they're gonna be. That's what I'm saying. Like it's going to be probably one of the most boring games of the round of games that's gonna happen on Friday, Saturday, Sunday. But I expect like a 3-1 or a 2-1 because I think you guys aren't gonna be pressing as much to win it either. I think you're gonna get a goal because, like you said, we're bad defensively. But I don't think you guys are gonna apply insane pressure to try to like get us to cough up a mistake. Yeah, the last time we scored 4 was against Southampton in February. That's what I'm saying. Like it has been so long since we put 4.
Yeah,
I think it's gonna be like a 2-1 or a 3-1.
I'll ask some of these comments in a minute, people. I've got loads of comments starred, and we'll discuss them in a minute. But let's move on to the combined 11 then. I'm gonna go. Yeah, I don't know, man.
I would literally go Jorgensen or an academy keeper.
We got a draw. I really would be surprised if we got a draw, but I just don't see it because I just don't see us trying to like dig deep, and I think Chelsea will want it more.
I think the only way a draw happens is if we are not clinical. Because I think you guys, it'll be a whole thing where if it's like 0-0 up until the final minutes, I could see you guys getting a goal. Or if it's like 1-0, right, leading into like the 80th minute, you guys are good at getting those goals like late in the game out of nowhere. So I'll say that much.
Yeah, I'll say, do you know what? Fuck it. I'll just go 2-1 Chelsea, bro. Probably 3-1 Chelsea. I'll probably go with that.
Yeah, like I said, it's 2-1 or 3-1. Yeah, I don't think it's gonna be anything crazy.
Hold on. Let's lineup builder. What one do you want to start off with first? You want to start off with the all-time combined 11?
Let's start with the current one, just because we were talking about it anyways.
Hold on. Where the fuck is it? There we go. Right, cool. We'll do 4-2-3-1.
Bet.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, these adverts, bro. I need to get ad blocker. Right. So this is a potential 11, by the way. Yeah. So this is what we think's gonna happen. So we're linked with Savage, the goalkeeper, is about 8 foot. Edison from Atalanta, Cunha and Delap. And I think Delap. I assume majority of people think we're going to beat Spurs. If we get Champions League football, I think we get Delap. I think he chooses United over Chelsea if we get Champions League football. And
he has no competition at United, bro. Literally zero. He has to worry about nobody.
He doesn't really have competition at Chelsea, though, is it? Let's be real. And yeah, Jackson's competition.
But the club would consider Jackson competition to him. He would come in as like low key competition to Jackson. Whereas at United, he'd be out now. There's nobody that's taking him off that.
All right, cool. Well, it's going to be interesting to know. And his goalkeeper is a complete mid-off, but we are linked with Savage. I've never watched him, though, so I don't know. Do you know what I'm saying? I don't know.
Is this, are we doing, what are you saying? Are we doing next season or
I'm
this season?
I'm saying potential Man United 11 versus current Chelsea 11.
Versus current. So we're giving you potential with transfers.
Because if we do Man United current 11, I can only get about 2 players in because you're like fucking 20 points ahead of us.
Okay, fair enough.
Makes sense,
well, what I would counter to that is next season we have Petrovic, and Petrovic has been one of the best keepers in Europe and like second or third best keeper in Ligue 1. So, like his stats are crazy this season.
This fucking Santos guy as well. This Andres Santos. He didn't even
he's
get
actually
to the team this season.
The kid is actually nice though. The kid is actually nice. Like he's actually good. It's hard to get into the team this season when these brothers got like Vitinha and shit in the midfield, bro. Like, yeah,
you lot been gassing him up, bro. Like he's, you know what I mean? Like,
well, who's gassing him up? I think he's really, really good. I think he's gonna be an amazing backup for when we actually have to rest Enzo Caicedo. I think he's not dropping the level at all. I think he's really, really good. But I wouldn't go any further than that. He hasn't shown it in the Prem. So
did Madrid win you lot? Madrid won in it last minute, 2-1.
But Mbappe then.
Ramon scored. I don't know who that is. I think that's one of their academy players or something.
But, yeah, kid scored. Fair enough.
Yeah. Well, I'm gonna get some of these comments as well, people. I'm gonna get some of these comments. I've started about 18 comments on my thing, yeah, so I'll get into them. But yeah, what we're saying then: Petrovic, Onana, Sanchez, or this Savage guy who none of us have.
I'd probably go Petrovic because yeah, I mean Onana and Sanchez is
before, and he can't get into the team ahead of. Sanchez.
No, he did. Last season he did. He benched Sanchez. The reason why he got sent on loan is because the club were like, oh, is he able to play with his feet or whatever? So they sent him to Strasbourg to learn how to play with his feet, and then he's just been like one of the best keepers. And everybody complained that we sent him on loan anyways, because Sanchez is actually trash. So
I mean, I put Onana ahead of him, bro.
No, Onana's had too many howlers, unfortunately.
Oh, I'll go Petrovic. That's the name. That's Strasbourg. Yeah. Right. Cool. Petrovic in goal.
Okay.
Right back or left back? I mean, where do you want to start? Well, we could go anywhere, but I'll go the fullbacks.
We could go right back. We could go right back. So
this one's easy, bro. Mazzardini. Pretty simple. You've got Gusto, who's not anywhere near his level. In fact, I've got 2 right backs. I would
say Reece. I would say Reece, bro. Like I think when Reece is fully fit, I do think his level's above. But he's been fit this like I think he's played the most minutes he's played in like 3 years.
He's been playing in midfield. He's been playing left back as well this season. Do you know what I mean? Like
left back? No, he's played right back. He's played right back. But the reason why we're playing him in midfield is because he just came off he finally had the surgery that we've been asking him to have for like the past 3 years. He had it, and then he's been back and he's played the most minutes I think he's played in literally years. But I mean, I'll give you Maz just because I don't think because even when Caicedo goes right back, he's still good, but that's not his natural position. So
yeah, if fit, he probably does get into this team. But
Yeah, I
His
agree. When
system
Reece
never
James is fit, but
Mazraoui's
to be
literally
fair,
played almost every game.
like I said, he has been fit. I don't. He hasn't. He's been here since pretty much middle part of the season. He's been here like all of 2025. He's been available and fit.
No, I
But
swear he did have an injury. No, he did have an injury in 2025. Yeah, but the thing is, I know for a fact he can't play. He doesn't play every week, though, does he? Because you can't play him. That's why he didn't play him against Newcastle, because you can't
no.
play him every week.
Yeah,
You
we
know what I'm
can't.
saying?
We
You have
can't.
to manage his
Yeah.
minutes. Whereas
Yeah, we manage his
Mazraoui
minutes.
literally played about 95% of our games this season. Mazraoui's played it, and he's been solid. £12 million bargain. Zier.
No, I mean, I think he's really good. I think calling Mazzadini is crazy, as Yasser TV points out. Shout out Yasser. I think that's crazy, but I don't think he's. Like I said, I think I don't think he's ever gonna reach the heights that Reece James is. I think I personally would still put.
Reece James is a better footballer than him. I agree. Reece
Yeah.
James can score goals, free kicks, better crosser, stuff
Yeah.
like that. Yeah, Reece James is better at that stuff.
Yeah.
There's no doubt in my mind about that.
I'll get that to you. I'll get that to you.
Just defensively as well, he's locked off almost every top winger he's come up against, every test he's had. £12 million, as I said. Zier's club got scammed. Cameron Payne more. We got him half price, and in fact, we didn't get him half price, bruv. We literally scammed the fuck out of him, bruv. He's a 40-50 million pound defender. He's unreal.
Okay, but Melon, realistically though, like, do you want me to sit here and argue every 2 seconds? Because, like he said, we're doing a hypothetical. Because if we did this season, he's literally getting maybe 2 players in. Like, exactly. He admitted it himself. Like,
I'm doing it off potential 11 and as a player. Because this season, as I said, Chelsea have been miles better than us. So what's the point?
That's what I'm saying. Like, otherwise there's no conversation. This is why we're doing this, so it's a bit more interesting.
Facts. Mazraoui, right, left back though. Because where do we go?
I would go Cucurella. I think Cucurella's been one of the best. I think he's been the best left back in the Prem, in my opinion. But other people disagree.
Probably has. But is he a better football player? I mean, Dalot, we don't even know if he's going to be here. To be fair,
but my issue is it's not even. My thing is, like, and I'll say this about defenders. I don't care a lot about defenders being quote unquote better. Like, if you're a defender, bro, if you do your job, I'm more than happy with that. Like, that's it. And Cucurella is not only doing his job defensively. He's locked up almost every winger that has faced him. Kept Saka quiet, kept Salah quiet, right? Best right wings in the Prem, I think people would say, fairly enough, right? He's kept them quiet. Not only that, when he inverts into midfield, he's really good on the ball. He's scored a ton of goals. He's scored a lot of goals from left back this season, inverting. He's won us games with his goals. I think there's no argument. I think it has to be Cucurella this season. I don't know who you would put up against Cucurella.
Because I do rate Cucurella. I'm just saying Dalot is a top left back when he's actually playing as a fullback. If you put him in Chelsea's system, he'd cook. If that inverting stuff, he'd cook. He'd be unreal.
Yeah,
because I've seen him on a half turn, and the way he build up. Look at the goal at the FA Cup final where he pinged the ball inside. Bro, he's unreal. The problem is this season he's been arse, and as a wing back as well, he's crap. So he's had an even double bad season. But yeah, I probably would go Cucurella. I do agree. Is there anyone else we could argue with? Is there anyone else? Luke Shaw is best, but when we're saying that with Reece James, so you know what I'm saying.
Yeah. If we're discounting Reece James, then Luke Shaw can't be in the conversation.
Yeah, it's true because Luke Shaw's even more injury prone than Reece James at this moment in time. So yeah, but I mean, I guess Cucurella does go in. To be fair, Cucurella is a better left back than anything we've got. What's it? How do you spell his name? There you go.
There it is.
Cucurella. Right, centre back. So this is interesting because I have this debate all the time, bro. Man United centre backs are better. Yeah, look, Euro delete centre backs.
You know what's crazy? I wouldn't even say Euro. I would even put Maguire because I think he's.
Yeah, I don't think.
I would put Maguire. I agree, but if we're talking about mixing a bit of this season in, I think Maguire has done a lot for you guys this season, low key.
Yeah, but Euro's better than Maguire. Like, he's just better than him. He's just got more attributes to his game. And we're going off as well, potentially next season, Euro's going to be our starting centre-back because obviously this season he's had injury problems and he's obviously, adapting. He's only 18. Now he's had a full season in the Premier League. Next season, I think you'll see him play full season. I don't rate Levi Colwell. As I say, I've been saying for months, listen, Love Island applications. You can go on Love Island.
I think if Fofana was fit, he'd definitely make it. I think Fofana's our best centre-back. He's just injured. That's what's killing us.
But maybe a few years ago. I don't really know about that anymore. To be fair,
No. This season he was really good, bro. Like once he got injured is when all of our results started going downhill, bro. We literally don't have anybody in the team that has the recovery pace that he has. And then when he was out of the squad, bro, that's when we started losing all the games and drawing and stuff.
He's talking about quick right, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, I don't really care what Barcelona people gotta say, bro. Respectfully.
Yeah, I'm going De Ligt though. Can we agree with De Ligt?
Yeah, I agree with De Ligt. I would argue. Now Martinez has not been world class. Why are we lying to ourselves, bro? He's not had a good season. There's no reason to lie to ourselves.
Who are you talking about? Martinez and my Martinez, or
yes, yours. No, yours. I don't think he's had a great season.
I think he's talking about his Martinez.
Oh,
because he's not talking about my one. I don't think he's talking about my one.
No,
my one's been all right. My one was all right just before he got injured. And like a month before he got injured, he scored the goal against Fulham, the goal against Liverpool. Yeah, he's talking about his Martinez.
Inigo Martinez is not world class, bro. I'd give you Kubarsi before I give you Inigo Martinez, bro.
This isn't Barcelona, bro. This isn't about Bro Cologne.
Yeah, but anyways, I would argue Maguire over Euro, but I don't really care either way. I don't think I think
what are you saying? United get two centre backs in.
I mean, I don't know what center back we're gonna end up with, right? If we're doing potential for Chelsea as well. I don't know what the summer window holds, so I'm trying to be some more off this season. No, Disasi's out. Disasi's out. Disasi's out. Badiashile is probably gonna be sold. We're not doing anything. De Ligt is a bozo. Don't let this United fan talk. No, I don't think De Ligt is a bozo. Like, I've watched a lot of Man United games this season, and he's not been one of the issues. Like, I can say that much, bro. He has not been one of the issues.
Yeah, right, cool. Right, cool. We're saying two centre backs, yeah? You're on De Ligt.
Yeah, I'm fine with that. I'm fine with that.
Because I don't even know who other Chelsea centre backs have got, bro. Bless up to Will, by the way, for the raid. Bless up. Make sure you subscribe to RSM TV. I'm going to get his link in the title as well. Make sure you subscribe to me. I'm 6 subs off 600, so make sure you hit the sub button, people. But this one, I think one of them's straightforward. Caicedo. I imagine.
Yeah, 100%.
Caicedo straight in, bro. I think we can all. I think everyone would agree. I don't think anyone would even argue. This guy's best. Probably the best DM in the league. Do you get what I'm saying? From now on, it's Chelsea.
No questions, bro. No questions.
Yeah, I agree, man. Caicedo gets in, bro. Do you know what I'm saying? What are we saying though for the next to him? Lavia, Mainu, Bruno, fucking Enzo. Anyone?
Enzo's having a good season, bro.
He's having a good
season, bro. He's having a really good season. I think
even
if
you argue about Mainu, because Mainu's had such a shit season.
I also think that's down to, again, maybe that's a conversation you guys need to have next season. But where does Mainu fit in the system? Yeah, see, Morning Zombie agrees with me. Yeah, De Ligt has been very good. I've seen nearly every United game. That's what I'm saying. I'm like, there are players that I will argue, but like De Ligt has not been one of the issues this season for United, bro. He's not, man.
Look what Will put.
Yo, fuck off, Will, man. Stop simping, bro. Like I said,
are we saying Enzo then?
Yeah, I would say Enzo, bro. I think the only thing that has kept us in.
Event, I'm saying could be WrestleMania.
Bro, I'm telling you right now, it's Enzo. It's Enzo Caicedo. Like, the only thing that I will argue this season that has kept Chelsea within sniffing distance of UCL football has been the midfield. Our midfield has been excellent this season, bro.
Yeah, Enzo's having a really good season, to be fair.
Yeah.
But big up. We've got 59 people inside, so make sure you hit the sub button, people. I'm sure there's 6 of you that haven't subscribed, yeah? Get me to 600 subs. Make sure you subscribe to RSM TV as well, people. Yes, I'm going to get his link in the title. Put Caicedo at right back and get Enzo Lavia. Caicedo ain't getting ahead of
Caicedo doesn't. He hasn't played, bro. He's played like right back like 4 or 5 games out of the entire season. Like, it would be shameless to put him right back, bro. He hasn't played there.
It's facts, bro. Do you know what I'm saying? So
yep.
But yeah, what are we saying though? I actually listen, because I'm always shameless here, because we're going off current Chelsea 11 potential. I'm going to give you a bit of potential because I do think Palmer's potential. Obviously, I think Palmer's got higher potential.
I think Bruno has been
this season, or at least in the last 3 months. Bruno's been better.
Yeah, I would argue. I think beginning of the season, Palmer was above Bruno, but I think because of his dip in form, I think Bruno has, like, you could say caught up a bit. But I do think that Palmer, I agree. Bruno, I think this is where he's at as a player, right? I don't think there's much left to see out of Bruno. But I think that there's still levels that Palmer can go up. So I would agree. I think we got to put Palmer. If we're doing like this season and potential, then
Palmer.
That is not. But by the way, that is not discarding what Bruno has done this season. He's had a very good season, especially if we factor in.
He's been very good since the start of the year. Since January, he's been very.
I don't know because I would even argue. I would argue in the Europa games, he's also been saving you, even beyond these 3 months, bro. So, but he's had bad performances in the league as well. So.
Yeah, he has, man. Right. But I'd go with Palmer personally. I think Palmer's just got a higher ceiling in it. You know what I'm saying? You're looking at.
Agreed.
Eventually, at times he's been talked about as the best player in the Premier League, and he's only 23, I imagine. Potentially in the next Man United number 10. So you know what I'm saying. Cole Palmer could.
He's not going, bro. I don't know what.
Listen, bruv, do you know what I'm saying? When you lot don't get Champions League and Cole Palmer sits there and gets homesick, do you know what I'm saying? And misses Mane, yeah?
He doesn't, bro. He's good over here. Like, literally every Man United fan is that deluded. You guys don't have the money. And he's on
that's what I'm saying.
And I don't think people understand what a consecutive life sentence is, bro. But
what does that mean? Oh
yeah, he's on death row, bro, at Chelsea. Like he himself signed an extra, bro. He signed an extra 3 years on his contract. Like, I don't know what you want me to say. We did not force him to. He signed the extra years. So it is what it is.
Listen.
Plus, we'll get into we'll get into the conversations later, but I don't think that you guys are gonna overtake us next season. But we'll talk about that later anyway.
Yeah, we'll talk about that later, bro. Because I'll cook you on that one as well.
Right, so what are we doing, left or right?
Though, because I think this.
The issue with Ahmed though is his injury. Like that would be my only issue with Ahmed. But he was out, bro. He was out.
Right,
and he was
I'm not hearing any of them.
I would put Neto left. You could put Ahmad. For striker, as unfortunate as it is, bro, like Højlund is pans, bro. He's cheats.
Hold on, did you say you're putting who?
I put Neto on the left.
You're putting Neto ahead of Cunha?
Yes.
Based off of what?
Based off this season, and again, people who don't watch our games don't understand, but this entire season, Neto has been putting in left side, right side, doesn't matter. He has been putting in absolute dime crosses into the box, and Jackson doesn't jump for them. He can't read them. Jackson couldn't find a cross inside of a Catholic church, brother. He is trash on crosses, bro. So I'm telling you, Neto has been good for us this season, bro. And I said this before. I said when we were going through the bad period, I was saying I think the only winger that I could see having the future at Chelsea Football Club is Neto, bro. I'm being dead serious. Neto has been doing well, bro. And even when he had to do a false 9 shift after Nkunku stunk it out for like 6 games in a row, he was doing a lot better. I think I have to argue Neto, bro. I have to argue Neto. And I think you could also admit this, right? Is when somebody, and I think Cunha is a baller, right? But I don't think, what are you guys going to play him as a left winger? You guys are going to play him, what, left 10 or right 10?
Left 10.
Yeah, you guys aren't going to really use him as a winger. You're going to use him more centrally. So if we're arguing wingers, if we're, that's fine. But I think, no, I would disagree. But I still think that based off of this season, based off this season and based off of what I think we could do when we get a striker, right? Because we're talking potential. I think Neto's assist numbers are going to be crazy once we get a striker that can actually be an aerial threat in the box. So I would argue Neto.
We'll leave it to the chat then, because it's a tiebreaker. Chat, Neto or Cunha, and we'll see what the chat says, bro. Because I guarantee they all sit there and light up the chat with Cunha, bro.
That's true, bro. Yeah, this is true, by the way. I agree with Santi's comment. He said they'd have to cancel their stadium redevelopment to sign Palmer, and that's facts.
No, it isn't. Because we're not even paying for our stadium, so that doesn't make sense.
And that's facts.
We'll touch like no, I don't know Edwin's channel, bro. Look, Cunha, Neto, we got 2-1 Neto so far. I mean, I know one of them's a Chelsea fan. I don't know who Edward supports. I don't know if that's Edwin. Cunha is 2-2. There you go. Even a Chelsea fan, bro. Big up to Musty. Yeah, bro's getting 3-2 Cunha.
Listen, I'm not gonna say anything, but his name is Musty. I think that tells you everything you need to know.
Listen, don't diss Musty, bro. My geezer, Musty, you prick. Neto can shoot. So can Cunha, bro. He's got 15 goals. He just broke the record or equaled the record for the most goals by a Brazilian in the Premier League season. So, you know what I'm saying? It's not like Cunha can't shoot. He's a top finisher, in fact. Neto is a game winner. Would you take Endry at United? No, because I would have experienced. Cunha, there goes 4-2. We'll leave it. We'll leave it to like one gets like 3 or 4 more than the other. 4-2 run out to Cunha. Cunha at Wolves. Yeah, Neto was at Wolves as well. Do you know what I'm saying?
No. But this is what I'm saying though. Like when you play for a top team, the way that teams defend against you is just
You're
different,
not-
bro.
Yeah, that's a good shout. You're not going to trumpet Sancho, and you're
Hmm.
not feeling Sancho ahead in that one.
No, I don't think this is my take on Sancho. I think that I don't think that Sancho has been absolutely garbage. I think he's underperformed compared to when he first got here. But I think for the price, bro, trust me, we've paid for worse.
No, Edward, we're doing potential Man United 11 next season because
again we already by the way, for anybody who just joined from Will's thing, we're doing a potential plus current, because if we did just current, it would be a lot of Chelsea players just because of the fact that these brothers are they're 17th in the league. Yeah, like there's not much to really say about that, bro.
Do you know what I mean? So yeah, I would go. Yeah, he's now changed to Cunha. I didn't even say Ederson in midfield from Atalanta, but I don't think he'd get in, to be fair. You could maybe put him ahead of Enzo, but we haven't seen enough of him.
Yo, Mr. HD was good, man.
Clear, so yeah, everyone's put Cunha now. So
you can put Cunha. I don't care, but I do think that if we get a good striker, Neto's assist numbers would skyrocket.
I think Sancho's better than that. Better footballing in him.
But the issue is, again, if we're doing current season, again, this is why I don't get into arguments of potential, because I think everybody could be a potential. Like Joao Felix is one of the most technical ballers, but if you don't perform, if you don't put up the numbers, then it means nothing, right? Like you need to impact the game. And that's my issue with Sancho, is there are games where he just doesn't impact the game whatsoever. Take away GNA, because I'm not a GNA merchant either. But if you impact the game, then that's what I need you. That's what I need you to see. So that's all I'm saying.
We've got 37 people inside. Yeah, I'm 4 subs off 600 subscribers. 40 people inside now. Come on, people, it's free. Make sure you subscribe to RSM as well. There's links in the title. Yeah, hit the sub button, people. Yeah, I'm 4 subs off.
Sub up.
We can get to 600. Do you know what I'm saying? I tried to get. My aim was to get 600 by the Europa League final, and now I think we've pretty much smashed that. We can get that tonight. You know what I'm saying? Got 40 people inside, so I imagine 4 people at least haven't subscribed.
Oh, that's actually true, bro. That's actually true. If we're doing potential, the next season we get Esteval, bro, and I think that kid has a potential to be something special. I was doing
currently, and I'm not hearing another fucking Brazilian from Chelsea, bro. Do you get what I'm saying? But you lot with the youngsters, bro. Do you get what I'm saying? I'd rather wait until they actually perform, because I don't know how good he actually is.
I think that
what I've seen of him, he looks mad skinny. So he needs to, you know what I'm saying?
I think that kid is special. No, I mean, but it's the same. You can say the same thing about, for me, skinny, it doesn't matter, bro. Like when you're a technical baller, I'm be rich. Was Neymar ever built, bro? Is Lamine Yamal hella built?
No, Yamal is built though. Yamal's got fucking broke up shoulders, bro.
No, Yamal. That's what I say. But Yamal, it's not like you need muscle mass, bro. Yamal is still skinny.
Yeah,
I tell you, Neymar. You can tell me Neymar was mad built either? No. And the thing is, it's the same thing with Esteval, bro. It's not like Esteval's like a twig with no muscles either, bro. Like he's in the gym. Like I don't know what to tell you. I still think I agree, but that's a great point, by the way. That's a great point. Like Esteval, if we're talking about potential, I think he has a potential to be like legitimately world class.
We're saying for the striker, because this guy's saying Osimhen or Gyökeres, but I don't think we're going to get either. I definitely don't think we're going to get Gyökeres. I think he's going to Arsenal.
Yeah, I think he's going. But
I'm going to save this comment for later. Yeah, I'm going to save this comment for later. Yeah, RSV. I'm going to save this comment for later because I've already spoke about this numerous times on my own channel. I'll save this comment for later.
No, Sesko's trash, bro. I already said this. Sesko's the worst case scenario for
Sesko's awful, bro. Yeah, Sesko's absolute binges. Jackson, Gyökeres, Osimhen.
No, I would say if Chelsea get Osimhen, then it's Osimhen, bro. That's what I will say, because we're still in for him. That's the one.
Right, we hit 600, by the way. Bless up, people. We hit 600.
Hey, congrats, man. Congrats.
Bless up.
No, but I would 100%.
Yeah, I would 100% say Osimhen's the best. Osimhen's the best of all of them.
I'll say Osimhen. I would put Osimhen there. I would just literally put Osimhen. You could say wherever he goes, but I think there's a chance he goes to Chelsea. Especially if we get UCL football, then yeah, I think we can get Osimhen.
We're all linked with the same strikers, isn't it? I think.
I mean, it's not like there's a lot of strikers right now in world football. I think you guys end up with the lot.
Yeah,
I think you guys end up with the lot, bro.
That's what I think. Top striker, so yeah, I wouldn't be surprised.
No, I think this is the thing is I think in terms of Man United strikers, I think he's not gonna end up being like a record breaker for you guys. I think he's a good striker, but he's a far cry from being world class.
No, but he has potential to be very, very good.
Yeah, but I don't think he has the potential to be world class. That's me personally. I think he has the potential to be a very good striker.
I don't know what world class means, so I don't know what.
Look, okay, put him into the repertoire of the strikers that you guys have had. Put him into the history of strikers that you guys have had at Man United. He's not making that list.
Musty, chill out, bro. Musty, chill out with that. You know what I'm saying? Musty, chill out, bro. You know what I'm saying? Musty, chill out. Big up to Mohammed, bro. You know what I'm saying? Musty, chill out, man. Chill out. I'm saying that's crazy, bro. But yeah, yeah. I mean, are you happy with that 11? Are we happy with that 11? Is the chat?
I'm down with that 11. I'm down with that.
I
11.
mean,
I ain't gonna problem with that.
you get what I'm saying? 1 Chelsea player, 3 United, 2 Chelsea, 4 Chelsea, 5 Chelsea. And what we saying, Ottoman's your player or my player?
Yeah, I know. I think you guys get the lap, so I would say it'd be ours. We're doing potential.
So let's say 6-5, yeah.
No, by the way, we know.
You've got a better squad though. Yeah, I'm saying.
I would say Reece right back. We already discussed it. It's just because of his injury tax. Because if we took away injury, then I would argue Reece 100%.
And I do think Chelsea, are going to get a centre back in the summer that will probably be better than one of our centre backs. Will probably be thinking in. Same with Fofana. You said Fofana. You'd take Fofana in if he wasn't injury prone. So yeah.
Oh, 100%. Yeah.
Now Bruno can't play right wing. Do you know what though? I wouldn't be against putting Palmer right wing and putting Bruno in the 10.
But Palmer hasn't played right wing at all though. That's the thing.
Yeah, but I think he's so much better on the right, bro.
Because quite honestly, if we're doing that, then I would put Caicedo, Enzo, Lavia. Like if we're allowed to put people out of position, then I think Lavia is a better baller than Mazraoui. So I would put Caicedo there and then put Lavia, Enzo midfield, and then I would agree with you putting Palmer on the right and putting Bruno in.
No, I hear it, man. Anyways, what do you want to talk about now? Do you want to wait a bit and then we'll do the other combined 11? We can get through some of these comments because I haven't got through any of these comments, bro. And I've started.
Yeah, go ahead. No, go ahead.
So, bless up for everyone on the comment section. Bless up for 600 subs as well. Big up to Will for the raid. Do you know what I'm saying? So we just hit 600. So yeah. But yeah, we can discuss this one if you want. Or I'll go through some of these first, and then I'll get to the comment I want to get to. But yeah. Okay, but didn't he get injured when he got transferred? This is about Euro. Yeah, he did get injured when he got transferred.
He got injured in the summer series, bro.
Yeah, he got injured in pre-season against Arsenal. Massive game for United, but also Amorim 15th is sackable for most clubs. Manchester United, Europa saves his backside. Yeah, you are right. It is sackable for most clubs, but like I said, there is different context to it. I would still give Amorim the summer. He's got to win the Europa League, though. He has to, because if he doesn't, the media are going to be on his back. Tottenham winning the Europa League. I don't know what do you think is going to happen? Because I know you want Tottenham to win.
No, I think United is like what I want to versus what realistic is going to happen. I think United win. I think that's the most realistic. I think Spurs are missing too many pieces. I think United have shown themselves to be really, really good in these cup runs. So that's why I think United is going to end up winning. But I would prefer Spurs to win.
40 points against Chelsea. I'd be surprised if we get a draw, but I just don't see it. I feel the same way for Chelsea with B team rotation here. Jackson suspended, Sonetta or Tariq plays centre forward.
Yeah.
What do you know? What's happened to Nkunku? Is he not fit or is he just out? Is he just being like brushed aside?
No, he's injured now. He got something again. So that's why he wasn't even on the bench in the past couple of games.
Man, I still don't believe Man United is this down bad as a club. 16th and the manager isn't getting sacked is insane. I hear it, bro. Do you know what I'm saying? I hear it. Enzo is direct perfect percentage of our big fall off for Spurs. I discussed. Yeah, he's not worth 120 million. No one can. But
the issue is that's just like that has nothing to do with Enzo or like even somebody like Caicedo or Rice. Like if you look at it back in the day, you told somebody CDMs would be going for over 100. They all look at you crazy. It's just the market that we're in right now. It's overinflated. It is what it is. Like.
I think we will see the same lineup and make the same change second half. Can't risk James too tough before the final. Yeah, but you lot should be fine. I mean, I won't be arrogant because I do think Betis. I actually think Betis probably will win it. But
no, I don't think Betis. I think Betis lose it just because they're never gonna win the midfield battle, bro. That's why I think Betis lose.
Maybe, yeah. Will Amorim be the worst Man United manager in history when they lose? No, he won't be. Because no one's ever worse than his two predecessors in Ole Gunnar Solskjaer and Ten Hag. Even though Ten Hag won 2 trophies. Them two have set the football club back 5 years, bro. Each time.
I would say this though. I would say this, like, and I said this before. I think it's gonna be really interesting in terms of what happens to both clubs if they lose, because both. I wouldn't even argue that just this season. I would think like the next 2 to maybe 3 seasons, Spurs and United are banking on winning that final.
No, Frankie De Jong.
Because it changes a lot.
Kimmich is one of the best players in any team could sign. What the fuck you talking about? Kimmich is shit. He's shit, bro.
Yeah, Betis hype, man. I agree. Betis hype, bro.
You're not spending 200 million. It's just talking about Man United. Or this is probably about you lot, isn't it? Because we haven't spent 200 million. How much?
After spending 200 million? You talking about us? Yeah, I think we will still spend. I just don't think it's gonna be like a billion again in like 2 windows. I don't see that happening again. But we're still gonna spend. Like we're still Chelsea Football Club, so.
Martinez has been better than Kubarasi this season. Kubarasi is 10 times higher ceiling there. Close run out, but this is always a different. Yeah, Kubarasi is better though, isn't he? Let's be real. Do you get what I'm saying? It's like
Yeah,
Euro,
that's what I'm
right?
saying. Yeah,
I'm saying. How is any 16th player? Because it's next season, bro. If it wasn't next season, I would be shameless. I'd probably put 1 or 2 United players in. Do you know what I'm saying? One of your friends, I've seen that one. Big up the boys at the Chelsea on the charge of Farage. That's crazy, bro. Big up to Musty, man. By the way, people, before people get rattled, I'm pretty sure Musty's black, so he's being sarcastic when he says that. Do you know what I'm saying? Yeah, Ahmad is clear of Nani. Do you agree with that?
Yeah. I don't think that's crazy to say.
It's not crazy to say. I saw a Newcastle. Do you know a few months ago I saw a Newcastle fan tell me Jacob Murphy is better than Amad Diallo?
It is what it is, bro. Like, I don't know what to say.
It's
just
problem.
like,
do you know,
but you know what it is though? It's like I was about to say it's the same thing that happened with us last season where people were like, oh, Caicedo's been trashed. I'm like, you guys have not seen him past the debut game. Like, people literally did not watch Caicedo past the debut game. Like, he had a bad debut game, and ever since then, like, he stood up and he's been a great player. But it's just what it is when your team is in the mud, bro. Like, even your good players get thrown in. So,
hey, touchline, are you making an XR combined? Yeah, I am, bro. Big up. I don't know Edwin's channel, bro. I don't know what Edwin's channel is. If Newcastle were to ease tonight, I'd love Bruno Guimaraes, bro. I just love Bruno Guimaraes.
You guys need him. You guys need somebody like.
Yeah, Bruno Guimaraes. You could put Bruno Guimaraes next to Mainu in a 2 midfield. Sorted, bro. Do you get what I'm saying? Sorted. But it ain't gonna happen. City missed a complete trick not buying him. By the way, they missed a complete trick not buying him. Do you know what I'm saying? So yeah. But yeah, Tonali's unreal. So they did it against you, didn't they? Played 5 at the back and put Bruno and Tonali in midfield.
Yeah, they did. Yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying? Awesome.
Well, that was after the early goal. But I would argue we still that's what was frustrating. That's why I fucking despise Jackson. I was like, I feel like we could have won that game, bro. Real talk. Like, even when they were sitting 5 in the back, we were still getting opportunities in on goal. Pope had to make 2 really good saves, bro.
Awesome and the Gyökeres.
Awesome, man. All day, every day, bro.
Nah, Gyökeres is better. Gyökeres is clear.
Nah.
Question for
Awesome is a bagsman, bro.
Yeah, and Gyökeres is a bagsman, and he's about to he's about to win the fucking the shoe thing. And he's actually very technical. I just think that when I look at I've looked at Gyökeres, and the majority of his goals come from drifting in the left into a lot of space that I don't think that he's gonna get in the Prem, especially if he goes to a big club. A lot, bro. I'm saying when you are in a big club, a ton, and I mean a ton, bro, are going to play low blocks against you when you're in a big club, and he's not gonna get the spacing that he gets in behind in the Portuguese league. Yeah. I don't think he's going to score 50, 60 goals in the Premier League, but you know what I'm saying. So, but yeah. Question for Touchline: would you trade Ineos for Clearlake and Todd Bowley? No, I wouldn't. I think I've heard you say this before. That you seem to think that Ineos isn't better than Clearlake and Todd Bowley. I mean, a lot of Chelsea fans seem to think they aren't. I don't know why, because track record wise in sport, they've done more successful in sport than them.
Yeah, but that means nothing, because then if we do that, then Todd Bowley has been hella successful, bro. Like, his team just won a fucking World Series, and then they signed like the best player maybe in like baseball history potentially in Ohtani. Like, if we do that, like, we can do that. But when it comes to specifically football, like, I don't think that I've seen enough from Ineos. I think that Ineos has shown themselves in terms of the decision making to not be the best.
But their recruitment's been a better hit rate so far than Chelsea's.
I need to see more. Like, I think this summer answers a lot of questions.
Even if we're going into this summer, the players we're linked with, Ederson, Delap, Cunha, they're 3 players that rise us up the table straight away.
Yeah, but we can get into that later. But I don't think that the rise is going to be as meteoric as you think. But fair enough.
Right, but Clearlake have took you backwards.
How?
How have they not? They took you from 3rd, champions of Europe, champions of the world, to 12th, 6th.
You do realize that? No, that was the UK government that took our owner. It wasn't Clearlake. It's not like Clearlake, but like literally held.
No, but I'm saying Clearlake
Abramovich at gunpoint.
Clearlake have took your football club backwards. Like, they've made you worse.
No, the squad that was inherited was trash, bro. Like, people forget. People forget that champion. That hold up. That squad. Hold on. Stop. That squad. No, the squad that won us that UCL is the same squad that ended us 12th. I don't understand why people struggle to understand that.
No, it wasn't. That was the reason.
A lot of the main pieces were still there, bro. A lot of the pieces were there, bro.
We had the same problem with our club. Culturally, Clear Lake were trying to get rid of majority of those players because they wanted to get
The
rid
players
of them.
were still there, bro. That's my whole point,
They
man.
hired Graham Potter, who was shit manager, and they bought a bunch of shit players. They had Sterling, Cucurella wasn't good in his first season. Do you get what I'm saying? Enzo in January, Mudryk in January.
But again,
so they spent
okay, hold up. But again, no, but again, that has nothing to do with them single-handedly taking us. Again, if these were the same players who won us the UCL, then they should have been better than to not let us end in 12th. But bro, we ended the season like 38 goals or some shit like that. Like my whole point being, there were times where our goal of the month was literally a pen, like because we had no other goals in that month. I'm telling you right now, as a Chelsea fan who had to sit through and watch that entire season, I'm not blaming that season on Clear Lake. They're not the ones. You can blame them for everything after. You can blame them for the transfer strategy, etc. And I've even said I can say a lot of shit about Clear Lake, about Todd Bowley, about Igbali, right? But at the end of the day, one thing that they have not done is be stingy with the money. They spend a shit ton of money. We can argue about if they spent it well, right? Where they should be spending it. But in terms of actually spending money, they've spent money. Y'all are out here having your manager fly a team out. You have to fly their family out and the staff members out.
What's that got to do with Ineos?
No. My whole point being, Ineos is very clearly not willing or not able to put the money on the table to get a lot of the players, because and this is my point. You think that there's going to be, and we can get into this later, but you think there's going to be some sort of.
It's not they're not willing to spend money. They don't have money. Whereas
we don't have money,
and you splashed it all.
But that's my whole. But what I'm saying is, right? Ineos, even in when they have money, what did you spend it on? You didn't sack Ten Hag, right? They let Ten Hag get in how many summer signings?
5.
None
of them were probably, apart from De Ligt and maybe Mazraoui, none of them were probably.
Because let's be quite honest. Hold up. If Ineos, I was just saying, if Ineos sacked Ten Hag, right, and hired Amram, do you think Amram would have gone in for Ugarte?
No, I don't think he would have. I think Ugarte shit. I don't think genuinely. I think they meant that. I mean, maybe it was Ashworth. I think Ashworth was the one who wanted Ugarte personally. And I imagine that's so because the way that Wilcox and the other ones, they talk about football, they don't buy players like Ugarte. He's the opposite of what they want. And this season, and we've just done a combined 11 of potential, yeah. And you've put, the chat have gone Cunha, so everyone thinks he's a good signing. I imagine everyone thinks the Laps are going to be a good signing. Everyone's going to think Ederson's going to be a good signing. Last summer window, yeah, we listen. We signed Mazraoui, who you put in the 11. We signed De Ligt, who you put in the 11. So let's not pretend that they've made.
No, but hold up. I'm not pretending. I'm just saying in terms of their decision making, right? Yes,
or did they inherit a bigger mess than what Clear Lake inherited?
No.
Oh my days.
Clear Lake, hold up. In terms of the squad, you remember, bro. Again, people forget. Hold up, people. No. In terms of the club, yeah, your club is. But you know what? I would argue though, low key, and again, it hasn't caught up to us. But I do think, and I've said this to a lot of Chelsea fans who got pissed at me. If we had kept Roman, we would have gotten so many sanctions. We would have been in the 18th and 19th division, playing in like in a park. If Roman was still our owner, because you see how they're coming down with all these sanctions, with all these things on City. Roman, we know the reason we're not getting punished is because we self-reported. We self-reported that Roman did all these things, and we're gonna pay like fines in terms of money, but we're not gonna pay any fines in terms of points or getting relegated or any other stuff. So that was already a mess in terms of what Roman. But shout out Roman, he's a real G. He did what he needed to do, and then he did before we had to suffer the consequences. I'm not gonna lie, G move. However, Clear Lake, in terms of a squad, our squad was overbloated. Remember the whole meme? How many buses do Chelsea need? People are, they're outside the locker room getting ready, right? We don't have any space for anybody. I'm not gonna act like Clear Lake came in to an amazing situation and it was all good. And again, I do think, and this is my whole point, this summer will show if Ineos is
they bought all their players and made it overplayed.
No, bro. A lot of them, 90% of the squad was Roman players, bro. 90% of the squad was Roman players. You gotta remember, we used to loan out.
They buy like 10 players, and then it got overfloated. That Mudryk had to change outside.
But hold up. Let me explain. Do you know what ended up happening? The reason why UEFA changed the rules on loaning players is because we used to buy a shit ton of players and loan them everywhere. And then when the rules changed, we got stuck with a ton of players that would put us that we would usually have in other years loaned out a ton of players that we were no longer able to loan out because the UEFA changed the rules. So you can't just loan out willy-nilly a million players. So our locker room was a mess. We tried to, I agree, like they were, and that was, in that window, when we bought 10 players, there was no sporting directors. It was just Todd Bowley. and Todd Bowley has no idea about football, bro. Zero.
I can't believe
He just wanted big.
Ride out for Clear Lake. They have turned your club into a glorified Brighton. Yeah, they inherited the champions of Europe. They've now.
But like this is such. But the thing is, this is my issue, bro. This is such surface level analysis, bro.
No,
this is surface level.
They've now got you lot scrambling for top 4. You've not won a trophy under their tenure, right? You might win the Conference League, right? But you've not won a trophy yet. Yeah, Ineos have already won a trophy, but cool, we're not going to be shameless and say that was their trophy they won. That wasn't really their thing. I mean, you could say it was because they could have sacked Tenag as soon as they got here and they didn't, and he won the trophy. However, they're going to go. Their manager, their actual manager they've hired, yeah, the first manager they've hired is on close to winning. Is in a final which we both believe we're going to win. And their recruitment so far has been better, albeit they've made less signings. However, Chelsea have made about 50 signings and made about 8 hits, whereas United, I'd say 3 out of 5 has been hits. And Xerxes, I wouldn't say he's great, but I wouldn't be surprised. I think Xerxes.
This is a great comment. "Quote unquote champions of Europe needed Spurs to beat Leicester to finish 4th." But my whole point is that's what I'm saying. Like, I lived through it as a Chelsea fan. You could try to tell me this is what happened, bro. I'm telling you, I lived through it. I was there. I saw all the issues that were at the club. What I'm saying is what you're doing is very surface level analysis, bro. You're trying to do the standards. This is that. This I'm telling you, the exact team that made us champions of Europe at that point had deteriorated, bro. It had deteriorated. Jorginho was not who he once was. Conte was riddled with injuries, bro. Thiago Silva was aging. We had massive issues in the squad, bro. Massive issues in the squad. We had a ton of players that we could not get rid of.
Cool. That's all cool. We can agree with that. Then why did they buy a team that then finished 12th, 6th, and now are probably going to finish 6th again?
They didn't. I'm telling you, the team that finished 12th was not the same. They came in, and the first window that they had was that winter window where they got Enzo.
Cool. So if you're going to do that, then this isn't Ineos' team. So
no, that's what I'm saying. No, but that's what I'm saying. I agree with you. That's what I'm saying. My issue with Ineos isn't the players that they bought in or their hit rate or anything. That's what I'm saying. This coming window is when I think you can make a real judgment on Ineos, because then it'll be last window. It'll be last window. It'll be last window and pretty much this window that they have had, right, to move players on and to get in players and get in the manager that they want, right? So that's what I'm saying. You look at this coming summer window and then you can judge Ineos. I can't say that Ineos is better or Ineos is worse or anything. I wouldn't prefer Ineos because I think the one thing I will give Clear Lake is the fact that I think Poch was a massive dud. They moved on. If a manager is a dud, they do not want to stick with that manager and just try to wait it out or try to do all this stuff. That's one thing I will give them. That's what I'm saying. And in terms of the amount of money that we spent on players, a lot of the money that we have spent on players has been youth players, has been potential, has been to try to just trade money and do this and do that. Because the reality is we're not making a lot of money in our stadium because our stadium is tiny. So we're not making revenue that way. We're losing revenue because we're not in UCL. So they're trying to put in plans to where we can have this process of scouting young players and selling them for more money than we once bought them for, to try to finance revenue to get big name players in. Have they done that yet? I don't think so. That's what I'm thinking. I think that they are failing to do what they set out to do. I think that they need to stop worrying about signing only players under 25, etc., etc., etc. However, when it comes to Ineos, people are acting like Ineos is light years clear. I don't think that Ineos have had even enough time to show whether they are light years clear or not. That's what I'm saying. Give them this window and then see how that ends up. Because remember, last window, and this is my whole point as well, is when you look at on paper, this is that on paper, like when we did the combined 11 and all this other stuff. And that's all cool. That's all nice. But when it comes to actually playing the games, remember, bro, when the summer window ended, people were like, yo, Chelsea have the most attacking depth in all the league. The attack is this, the attack is that. What ended up happening with the attack? What did Nkunku look like? What did Sancho end up being like? But that's what I'm saying, though. But before a ball was even kicked, even rivals were saying, yo, this attack is something to be scared of. This attack is this attack is that. Look at the signings that they made in attack. My whole point being, it's all nice to say shit on paper, to say our squad, this player is better, this player. But there is no guarantee when a player comes in that they're going to hit the ground running, that they're going to be amazing the first season, that they're going to solve the issues you think they're going to solve, or that they're even going to be a hit.
Well, yeah, that's
which is what I'm saying. Give Ineos one more season. That's my whole point, and then we can make judgments.
They do both own another 2 clubs in another league, by the way, which is the French league, and these are actually currently above Strasbourg, despite Strasbourg having a bunch of Chelsea players that were loaned out to Strasbourg and stuff like that.
Well, some of the I would argue the only Chelsea player that they had that actually played time at Chelsea is Petrovic. Santos never played. Santos never played.
You rate Santos though. You rate Santos, so there you go.
No. Stop, bro. But he never played for Chelsea though. That's what I'm saying. It's not like these are Chelsea players. Like these players never played for Chelsea, pretty much. You could say that, but in terms of like you saying like, oh, there's Chelsea level talent that would start for the first team is getting sent to Strasbourg. That's not the case.
No, I don't. I'm not saying that. I don't think that is. I'm just saying that.
Yeah, I would say the only one is Petrovic because before this season, this is Santos' breakout season.
All right, cool. Listen, I think all will be proven this summer when Ineos once again have a better summer than Clear Lake and Man United finish above Chelsea, which gives us a nice little thing to move on to the next segment. Next season, who finishes higher? Let's go. You start.
All right. I think next season, I think we still finish higher. I think you don't jump from being.
Where do you finish next season?
What? I think we finish in UCL spots again. I think next season I want us to be challenging for the league. I don't think we're gonna win it. I haven't seen enough summer signings.
You told me you're only 3 or 4 players away from challenging. So what's changed?
But that's what I'm saying. But let me finish. You didn't even let me finish.
No, but I'm saying I don't.
No. But hold up. When am I getting gassed up? That's crazy. So I can't even say I'm gonna finish top 5. Oh, you gassing up the play, bro? You need to. Okay. Do you know the term? Okay. Do you know the term hyperbolic? Right. Everything you say, you blow up to the absolute extreme. Sometimes you just need to take what people say at face value. You need to stop doing this surface level analysis. Like, oh, if I say this team is good, so you think they're world class, so you think you're gonna beat us, bro? That's not what I'm saying at all. So we need to take it down a bit. All right. What I'm saying is, I think we're gonna be UCL. I want us to be challenging next season. I think we are 3 to 4 positions from being able to do that. Do I think Clearly get it done this summer? I don't know. I don't think so. But I do think that we're going to improve the team in such a manner that we are able to sustain top 5, bro. And I'm gonna be quite honest. One of the biggest reasons why is I don't believe that you are going to make enough changes wholesale in the team to be able to go from literally above the relegation zone to somehow immediately in top 5 contention. I don't see it happening. I don't think it's gonna happen. That's way too drastic of a change. Like that and you're gonna point to me, oh, but Forest did, etc., etc. Forest have been in a process for a long time. Amrim, this Forest owner, they've been recruiting this talent. They've been building this team for a while. This team has been building for a decent amount of time. Yeah, this United team has not.
You're forgetting one massive thing there, that they had a worse starting point than we've had. Our team is not this bad. We all agree. United's team is not 17th bad.
No. I know. You know what it is though. What I think is that no, this United team though is the same. Is for me the same as the Chelsea team that ended 12th. Like that's what I think the most likely the actual position should be, like around 12th, around 10th, around there. That's what I think this United team is. But I don't think that you do enough, like I'm saying, because this assumption is based on Chelsea don't improve, right? Newcastle don't improve, Villa don't improve, right? That these teams do not improve. And I do, and again, that's
Villa won't improve. Villa will probably get worse next season, I reckon. Chelsea will stagnate.
But this is my point. If somebody told you last season,
got a worse manager than us.
If somebody told you last season Forest is going to end up fighting for UCL football and United is going to be bottom of the table, would you have believed them?
No, but I can.
Okay, wait. Now let me continue. Hold up. Let me build up on my points. Right? Because I'm building an argument. So if you didn't believe that, right? What does that show you? And this is my exact point. And this is the point that I made with people, right, who were saying, oh, our attack is the best in the league. We have the best attacking depth in the league. That looked all nice when the summer window ended. What happened when games ended up being played in the league? Because the league table at this point does not lie. You ended up where you ended up. And I do think that you guys are going to see a marked improvement. But I don't think that you guys are going to leapfrog Chelsea. I don't think that you're going to leapfrog Newcastle. I don't think that you're going to leapfrog Villa.
With the Forest thing, you just said to me, you don't think you wouldn't have thought last season that Nottingham Forest would finish above Man United, and Man United will be in this division. Nottingham Forest will be that. That point isn't directed at me. That point was directed at you, and I'm gonna tell you why. That point was directed at you because I'm saying, right, you are saying with full confidence, right, this is gonna be this, this is gonna be this, gonna be this, and I'm saying you can say that, right, but you also have to admit within yourself that there is also a possibility that is not the case, right? You admit that, right? There could be a case. Yeah, I'm not saying you don't do that. We're going to finish above Chelsea, but I just think with the players we're linked with, yeah, I think, and I firstly, I'll start. I think we've got a better manager than you. Yeah, I don't think that's outrageous. Yes, in the league, you don't know how good he's in the Premier League, but I think I mean, I've seen Maresca in the Championship. I've seen him in Serie A as well with Parma. So it's not like Maresca's got a great track record to go off with. I think Amorim is a better manager than him. I don't think that's outrageous to say. I think there's a reason why you wanted him. There's a reason why Liverpool were looking at him. There's a reason why City were looking at him to be Pep's successor. So that's not like, I mean, with Enzo Maresca, other than you lot, who was looking at him? Was City looking at him? Were fucking Liverpool looking at him? No.
Who was? So, but my question is, okay, but my thing is, right, after this season, I don't see. First of all, Enzo Maresca, this is the whole thing that I an issue with Enzo Maresca, is he's an inexperienced manager. He's an inexperienced manager, and he's learning on the job, exactly the same as the players.
How old is he?
In terms of his actual career as a coach, is a lot.
No, how old is he? As a person,
I have no clue, bro.
Because he looks to me quite old. Because
he's 45.
So he's 6 years older than Amorim.
Yeah, but his managing career has been different, bro. But my whole point is, I'm saying he's inexperienced. Like I said, age has nothing to do with your managerial experience.
Yeah, that's true. But
and my whole point is, I'm saying I don't. You are saying, oh, the Amorim is a better manager, etc., etc. But in the Premier League, is a lot different than in a lot of other leagues, even for managers. Translating to this league, it's not as easy. And there will be difficulties. There is these different sticking points in terms of the tactical setups that teams throw at you week in, week out. Amorim was not seeing the type of tactical setups that are thrown at him in the Prem as he was seeing in the Portuguese league, right?
Yeah,
so you can tell me that he's a better coach, etc. But I'm saying we need to see, and this is my whole point. You need to see a summer preseason under Amorim, right? The signings, and then see him in the league to be able to really make a judgment. Because I think a lot of people have been saying, for example, he should be sacked. He's just in the league. And I'm like, bro, but you brought him in mid-season. He literally told you guys he wanted to wait until the summer. And then you didn't back him properly in the winter window. So it's like, but that's what I say, but like you guys, like you didn't do enough to really see what Amorim is made of, which is why I agree with people saying that you shouldn't sack him. But until there's evidence that he has done better in the Prem than Maresca, I don't think you can out and out say, oh, he is a better, because at the end of the day, the results are on the table, right? The results are on the table. There have been times when he has stuck to players that have not been working, that he sticks with a pair of eights that don't complement each other. And I've heard United fans complain about it game in, game out.
They do complement each other, so it does.
No, I agree, but there are people that say, oh, he's not putting out his best lineup. He's sticking with this player that's not working. He's continuing to play. Garnacho's continuing to not. He didn't play. What's his name, bro? The guy who's injured, the 9.
What the hell? What is going on with your camera, mate?
Hold on, my bad. Hold up. The camera got to catch me 1 second.
What's it called? But as I'm saying, right, that's all cool. I do think I stand by. I think he's a better manager than Maresca. I think in the summer we're gonna have a better window than you guys. Personally.
Yeah, Xerxes, that's his name, bro. Xerxes. Like he didn't play Xerxes. He kept playing Højlund. Like these are all valid points.
Xerxes better than Højlund, but he's not like, it's not like Xerxes gonna fucking sort of change Man United's fortunes, because he's not.
No. I agree, but bro, Højlund might be one of the worst strikers the Prem has ever seen. I think you can admit that, bro.
Yeah, I can agree. I'd probably say it's the worst I've ever seen. But I can agree with that. But I'm saying I think in the summer we're gonna have a better window than you. I think next season I actually think you're gonna fall apart, because I actually think your players are gonna fall out with Maresca, because I don't think he's that good, and I think they're gonna just there's gonna get to a point where they're looking at it going, this manager's just not good. And there's literally
zero fucking evidence for that. Like you, like at that point, it's just like
this is why it's a prediction, bro. But
again, in terms of prediction, right? Like I like to speak predictions with at least some level of reality, right?
Let me finish. Cole Palmer released an Instagram story about a month ago saying freedom. And it was a video of him scoring a goal last season. Instantly, that makes me feel like he doesn't feel like he's getting.
But do you know why that was, or do you not know? Do you have the context of that, or no?
Well, it's obvious that he's not getting freedom under Maresca. It's pretty simple.
No, the Premier League posted that. He reposted it and he put that. And he has, bro, and he was doing. By the way, you understand, right, that he is playing in the exact same positions as he was last season.
He doesn't have to.
He is. He's the only player that is allowed to go wherever he wants on the pitch. And any Chelsea fan who tells you otherwise is literally fucking lying to you. You will see him pick up the ball from the back line. You will see him in the box. You will see him on the left side. You will see him on the right side. He is literally allowed to do and go on the wherever he wants on the pitch. He is the only player that is allowed to do that in the system. The only one. Which is why my whole point is, which is why a lot of Chelsea fans will tell you, why do we continue to protect Palmer by blaming Maresca when it has been Palmer's fault that he has been poor? It is on Palmer.
I'm not saying it's not. I'm just saying that's what I'm. Bro,
okay.
Let me finish. I've seen it with my own club, the culture of the football club. Yeah, they've sacked 3 or 4 managers now. Yeah, rightfully or wrongfully. I'm not saying that that's wrong. I'm not going to get into that conversation. Yeah, you could say I've been Pochettino. Some people liked, some people didn't. Me personally, I don't think you're that much better on Maresca, but I think you've probably been better this season than last season. But you'd expect to do that after spending 300 million. You'd expect to be better than you were last season, the previous season, when you didn't have that 300 million. But yeah, we're not going to get into that. My point is I do see the players losing faith in a manager that clearly is out of his depth. He's clearly not good enough. Do you get what I'm saying? There's nothing to base off Maresca being a good manager. There's nothing. He's done nothing in his career. And you said he's 45. He's done nothing in his career for me to sit there and go, there's something there.
Okay, hold up. I could use...
He comes across very, very... Listen, this is why he studied from the school of Pep. Just like Arteta. Yeah, he comes across very, 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 very arrogant. Yeah, he's sitting there waffling in press conferences. I've already seen him. He's sitting there with low standards, low mentality. I mean, a manager being one game off being top of the league, saying we're not in a title race, and then saying that the objective is top 4 next season, not this season, next season. Whilst they were already floating around top 4, he's sitting there waffling about how they're a better team this season than they were last season, and all this stuff. And I thought it was mad, shameless, and hilarious. I think he's going to lose the dressing room. I think you're going to end up getting him sacked. In fact, I wouldn't be surprised if you sacked him in the summer, but I do think you'll probably end up getting next season. And I think you lot will fall off, and I think that will be one of the reasons why we finish above you next season. I think we're going to have a good summer. I think we're going to sign Delap. I think we're going to sign Cunha, because I do think we're going to win the Europa League. I think we're going to sign Edison. I think we're going to get a goalkeeper. I think we're going to get another midfielder. If we sell Bruno Fernandes as well, I think we're probably going to get someone like Adam Wharton, something like that, in the midfield. I think we're going to get a wing back. I think we could even get a Cherky as well. I think we're going to go and sign 6 or 7 players this summer. We're going to get rid of 8 or 9, and I think we're going to be right back up for the top 5. I don't think we're going to be above. Depending on other teams' windows, I don't think Newcastle, I think, should be good. Man City, I think, will be back above everyone else again, and Arsenal and Liverpool, them teams are already ahead of us, innit? Do you know what I'm saying? So I won't be with them, but I think the likes of Chelsea, Villa. I know you're not far off City and Newcastle this season, but we're not idiots in it. Do you know? So we're not idiots. We know City and Newcastle are only they'll sign a few players this summer because they get it, and Isak. They've already got just such a great
so let me get the hold up. So let me get this straight. You're giving United best possible scenario and Chelsea worst case scenario. Let me put it to you this way, right? Based on this season, right? Based on current results in the Prem.
I don't think this is the best possible scenario now, but I don't think that's
hold up. So, right. Yeah, even your chat is saying this is very optimistic. So I'll put it to you this way, right? I could also put you a scenario, right? Which is not out of the realm of possibility, right? You don't sign the players that you need. You don't get every single sign that you need across the line, right? Incomplete squad rebuild going into next season. Amram does not hit the ground running. Hold up. I'm basing it off the fact that, right, you guys are having a poor end of season, bro. It doesn't matter. You guys have not won a game in a very long time. Hold up. What are you basing your window off the fact you're gonna get everybody that you hope you get? This is my point. If you're gonna present one scenario, right, based off of your beliefs and your feelings and who you are linked to, if we do windows based exactly what we're linked and we're gonna get across the line. So let me finish this. Hold up, let me finish this. If you're gonna put that, then I could put to you exactly the same scenario. In the window, you get a couple signings that you were linked to, but you don't get some of the ones that you're linked to, right? So incomplete squad rebuild, right? You don't move on some of the players that you wanted to move on from. So you have a more of a bloated squad. Amram does not hit the ground running, and some of the issues that you saw last season continue to be a problem into the new season, and you struggle for form in the league, right? You start to get battered in the Champions League, right? And the players start losing faith. They start turning on Amram. The fans start turning on Amram. This is as equally a plausible of a scenario as what you are presenting, as what you're saying might happen to Chelsea. But my whole point is, you know, reality tends to be more in the middle. But that's my whole point. I think next season you will see an improvement in United. I think you will get some of the signings you need. I think the squad rebuild is still probably one window away from being 100% new squad that Amram has built under his vision. I think you will be better, but I think Chelsea is going to improve. I don't think we're going to get worse. I think your idea of, they're going to turn on the players, it's all going to unravel, like, that's not really based on anything. If that were the case, for example, then the players after Ipswich game would have down tools, yes or no? The players would have said we're giving up on this manager after we drew to Ipswich 2-2. They would have said
No,
this
it's not
project,
saying
these
Chelsea.
players were going nowhere, but they didn't.
No, cool,
We
cool.
kept
I
getting
can-
results and we kept winning. So it's like
I can
I
agree.
don't.
I can agree with the point on Amarin that you don't know if Amarin's going to be good. I can agree with that. But the window one, do you think we're going to sign Matheus Cunha? Because I think it's already done.
No, but that's my whole point. I think you signed Cunha, but I don't think, for example, I don't think you get the keeper and that
You're
you guys
saying
want.
we're going to sign
Hold up.
Tamak. You're saying we're
I
going to
don't-
sign Tamak, so that's good.
No, but that's a big if. That's something. These are ifs. There's no guarantee that you guys get the lap, right? I think Cunha, is a lot more guaranteed than the lap.
You already said you think we're going to get the lap and you're going to get
I
Austin.
think because, but for example, I could put you this scenario, right? Because in a final, anything can happen. Spurs win that final, I don't think you get the lap, and your summer window changes. But that's my point. Like we are speaking about things. I think when the Europa final ends, I think it's a more fruitful conversation to have, because then we can see what type of money, what type of poll that you guys are working with this summer versus if you lose the final. I like a lot is based on that final for you guys, and that's the truth. But
That's why luckily we're against Spurs, so
and they're injured, but that's what I'm saying. But anything can happen in the final. Anyways,
Yeah,
besides the
I
point,
agree- I
that's
agree with
the
you
same thing.
about
That's the same thing.
scenario, but I do
That's what I'm
agree
saying.
with that with Amarin as well. You know,
But why? Okay, but my question is that why for Chelsea are you giving us, right, in your prediction, the worst case scenario, right? The project unravels, right? We lose players, which is really what you're saying, right? Players are lost. They no longer want to listen to the manager. We have a poor window, right? Like you are literally giving us worst case scenario, legitimately.
Because I don't rate your manager and I don't rate your owners.
But I could say the same thing. At this point in time, I think Ineos fucked up by not sacking Ten Hag when they needed to. I think signing Ugarte was dumb as hell and set you guys back. I think a lot and I think you're not gonna be able to move on Højlund. I don't think you're moving off of Onana. And I can point all these different things. But even then, I don't give you worst case scenario. I give you the most realistic thing that I think is gonna happen. I give you somewhere in the middle because that's where reality tends to be. Like if we want to do fan fiction, if we want to do the banter of, oh, I think you guys are gonna be just as shit next season. I think Onana's gonna continue having howlers. I think Mainu's gonna leave. I think Ahmad might leave. I think all your good players are gonna leave because you guys are shit. Like we could do this a fairy tale scenario, or we could talk what more realistically might end up happening. Because you think, oh, I don't like your manager. So what, bro? The players are improving. The manager system, based on the eye test and based on the stats, is better than we were under Poch. We would have to concede like 18 or some shit goals to be worse than Poch. So I think the team has improved. The manager is an improvement off of Poch. So and if we do end up getting UCL football, then this season was legitimately better than last season. So I don't think that we're going to have the massive fall off that you say we're going to happen. And I don't think that you guys are going to leapfrog it, but I do think you're going to be in and around it for way more than you were this season.
Well, oh, cool. But we did a potential Man United 11 already. You put 5 Man United players in next season. So that's
because
step.
but that's because
No. Come on, let me speak now. Let me speak. You did that, right? Cool. I'm basing off, yes, you're saying I give you the worst possible scenario. Yeah, I do, because I've got enough, which we all agree. You said you haven't got Ineos enough sample size of Ineos. I've got enough sample size of Clearlake to know what they're about. I know exactly how they conduct themselves in interviews. I've listened to Clearlake. I've listened to what's his name, Egg Barley, talking interviews. All he talks about is gassing up the Brighton the Brighton model and how well Brighton are run as a football club. Me personally, you could say it's the worst possible scenario. That's cool, but I think we're gonna have a better window than you, and I think Amarin's a better manager. So therefore, I think we're gonna finish above you.
I think that you guys are so far behind us that even if you do have a better window, because your squad is
Based
so
off of
bad,
what? Hold on, based off of what?
based that you guys are behind
Actual
us.
squad, not in terms of the fact.
Yes,
we're
your actual squad. No, so your actual squad. I think you guys are very much stuck with Onana. I think you wasted a ton of money on Højlund. I think hold on, Bruno's getting up there in age. Casemiro's getting up there in age, right? I think you have a couple of promising signings, but there's no guarantee that Euro is not going to continue being injury prone. Same thing that happened with Fofana, right? There's a lot of ifs, right? Things that I can say, right, is that this Chelsea squad is young. We are improving from last season, right? We have players like Caicedo, we have players like Enzo, we have players like Lavia, we have players like Palmer, right? We have all these things on the table that we can look towards for the next couple of years. You're not looking at the next 5-6 years of United and looking at Bruno, looking at Casemiro, right? Looking at Onana, looking at Højlund, looking at Højlund.
Cunha, which we're going to get. You're looking at Ahmad. Do you know what I'm saying? And you've already said that.
But hold on, but this is my whole point, and this is what I told you before. These things are not done on paper. So you're telling me we're gonna sign Cunha. Let me see what they look like in the United squad. Let me see how they look when they play for a top club, right? Because it is a very big jump playing relegation to playing for a top club like Manchester United. And as much as we can rate players, some of them crumble under the pressure. And I'm not saying that they will. I'm not saying that they won't. I'm saying that we need to see. I think that you guys have a lot more work to do. I think that you guys have a lot of ifs, right?
Yeah.
So that's the only reason I'm saying that. I think if you guys do best case scenario and we do worst case scenario, sure. But I think in terms of the law of averages, we're just ahead of you.
You're not taking into account though. You're acting as if it's like it's impossible that we can finish above you next season. But I've given you another example of this season, Nottingham Forest finishing where we finished. And before you sit there and tell me Nottingham Forest have been building for 8 years and all this stuff, they also were in fucking Championship or League One. They had a massive worst starting point, yeah. And also they bought fucking Hudson-Odoi from you lot. They bought fucking Alanga from us lot. They bought players that were not good enough for our football clubs, and yet they managed to get one manager in. He then got one summer window, and he took them from 17th to what they were third for a long time. Now they're going to finish 7th or 6th. 7th. But yeah, so what you tell me that can't happen to Man United?
I'm not saying it can't happen to Man United, right? What I am saying is I think you guys have a lot more work to do. That is my whole point. And this is what, look, even common sense is, that's what I'm saying. Nothing is impossible. And that's my whole point. But the reality that you guys jump from being 16th, right, to contending for top 4 every season is in
the big games we're already betting you. In the big games we're already betting you.
But the thing is, what's saying in the big games, bro, in the big games, that's cool. But the league, and everybody admits the league is the bread and butter, right? And at this point in the season, the table doesn't lie, right? The jump from 17th to being in the top 4 is a massive jump. And you are basing this on no evidence that has yet to be provided in the league for why you guys would be able to, throughout a league season, sustain a top 4 charge.
I guess we'll have to find out, right? Let's do the last combined 11 before we wrap up, because we went that one on for far too long. But yeah, we'll do the last combined 11. Hold on, how do I? Let me just step line up builder. Hello, we've been 1 hour and a half. I've got 17 people in here. Hit the sub button, people. Come on, it's free, man. Get me to 605 subs. Road to 1K's on, bro. I'm trying to get 1K in the summer. Hold on, it's fucking. I need to get an ad blocker, man. Let me put the screen share on one sec, bro. Yeah, because we're running out of time, innit? So I'm gonna have to fucking move on from that. But yeah, bigger. But yeah. Let's go. Let's do this. All-time combined 11.
Yeah.
So you put your goalkeeper forward. I put mine.
I mean, I'd probably put Czech.
You probably put Czech.
I think Courtois' best years probably at Madrid.
Yeah, I agree. Well, who do I go with, bro? I got Van der Sar. I got De Gea. I got Peter Schmeichel.
I would argue Schmeichel before any of the other two. Me personally, but
I never fucking watched him, bro.
Yeah, fair enough.
I don't know. What are we saying in the chat, bro? Do you get what I'm saying? Both chats. We've got 2 chats on. So what are we saying in the chat? What are we saying? Do you know? I wouldn't even be honest with you. De Gea in his pomp was unreal.
Yeah, but I would argue Czech was actually unreal, bro.
Yeah, but De Gea was unreal as well. De Gea wasn't human.
I think I would give it to Czech because I think.
He's going Courtois, but I think Sensei's a Madrid fan.
Yeah, I think I wouldn't argue Courtois just because I think Courtois' best years were at Madrid. I think that's where it is for me, to be honest. So
yeah,
I can't really
I don't think Courtois in this discussion. Well, I'll go Van der Sar. Check on Van der Sar. What we're saying? They both won the same amount of league titles. No. Czech won 4, but one of them he didn't do anything in.
Yeah.
Van der Sar won 5. No, Van der Sar won 4 as well, actually.
Yeah, Czech was that guy, bro. Czech was that guy, bro. I ain't gonna lie. Czech was that guy, bro. The saves that he was pulling out, man, like he was insane, bro. Like he was part of a backline that did legendary things. If we're being quite honest, man, he was that guy.
Yeah, and what he did in the Champions League final, I probably would edge it Czech, to be fair, because what he did in that Champions League final, where he saved the penalty in extra time, and he saved them in the shootout, basically won you the Champions League by himself. Yeah. And didn't he save that penalty from Messi in the semi-final as well? So yeah,
I think that hit the bar, but yeah.
Oh, yeah, you might be right. Yeah,
he hit the bar, but yeah.
Oh, well, his presence, his aura in it, you know, and put Messi off. So I'll probably actually check. I mean, I don't know if we can actually do. Yeah, we can do legends. Yeah. I'll go check. Cool. Yeah, right back though. I mean, we got Gary Neville. Ivanovic. Is that the only two?
Yeah,
Who would you put forward for you? I've got Gary Neville.
I prefer Ivanovic, to be honest.
And who are we saying who's better out of two?
I would say Ivanovic. I think Neville was really, really good, but I don't know if he was the strongest part of the United team that was doing crazy stuff. That should be personally, but I think
Gary Neville was unreal, bro. Hey, someone in the chat put Aspie.
Nah, I wouldn't put Aspie. Shout out Aspie, bro. Love him, but I don't think so.
Bro, Neville's underrated. Neville's underrated.
I would do Ivanovic, bro. I just think our backline was insane for a very long time, bro. But
Neville, good leader.
I don't think Neville. I think Neville was good. I think he was really, really good. I just don't know if he was, because when we're doing odd times, we also have to take into account, right? Like you did, right? What were their impact on winning stuff for the team? Because when we talk all time, these were people that were winning.
Gary Neville was very impactful, by the way. Very impactful.
No, I know he was impactful. That's what I'm saying. You have to. I don't know. You could just ask the chat if that's what you want to do.
Of course, you want to go Ivanovic. You ain't getting many players in this 11, so you can take the two.
That's what, because I would argue that like historically our defense, right, is the one that has been the most. It's part of the reason why we won so much. So
centre backs, though. I mean, this one you might get one more in because we got.
Yeah, I would do Terry, and then you can put. And then I would just argue Terry because you guys have way too many legendaries like center backs you can put in. So you choose who you want to put in, but I would do Terry and then whoever you want. I wouldn't argue with you.
What you don't want to put two center backs in for you lot?
I could do Carvalho, but like I don't know that he would beat out anybody else. You feel me? You could do Aspie, but again, I don't know that he's beating out anybody that you would put up. Which is what I'm saying. I think the strongest argument I can make is Terry, and I think you can make a stronger argument for anybody else that you would want to put in. So
I've got Ferdinand.
Yeah.
But I mean, I've got Ferdinand. I've got who else? I've got Ferdinand. We'll go Terry. I think we can all agree Terry. I got Ferdinand, Vidic. Yep.
That's what you decide who you want to put out of those. Like I want to argue with you, but
I got Ferdinand. Probably compliments Terry the best because of his recovery pace, isn't it?
Yeah.
So yeah, I'll go with that. Left back though after this one and getting this is easy. Bro, I'm getting smoked right now.
I put Cole, but Chelsea defense, like this was a bit expected. I'll put Cole though.
Yeah, I think we'd all put Ashley Cole.
Yeah,
Terry,
it was Cole, bro. Yeah, he was unreal.
Ashley Cole. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yep.
And he snacked Arsenal, so yeah, got
W, man. Yeah,
you got to put him in there. Midfield.
No, I know.
There's one guy that goes straight in. There's one guy that goes straight in. Paul Scholes. No debate. Paul Scholes walked straight into this team. He's the best midfielder in Premier League history and one of the best of all time.
Yeah, he was nice. He was nice.
Paul Scholes straight into that team. He goes straight into that team. We've only got 2 United players in so far, though, bro. I'm not liking.
Yeah, but you guys are gonna get You guys are probably gonna get a lot more in attack, though. Like it is what it is.
What are we saying though? What are we saying? Who partners Scholes?
I'd put Super Frank, me personally, bro.
What in the pivot?
I wouldn't put him in the 10 necessarily because I think he wasn't really creative like that. So
Keane, I'm not putting. If you're going to go Keane, I never watched Roy Keane, so I don't know. If you're going to put Keane, I'm not putting Lampard in the 10 because I've got Rooney in the 10.
That's what I'm saying. That's why I put Lampard right next to him.
I'm not putting Lampard in. I'm not putting Lampard in because you're going to get about 7 players in if I put Lampard in.
But bro, like his number. Okay, for what he did for as long as he did and the numbers he was putting up, bro, he was crazy.
He wasn't better than Rooney though.
No, but that's why I'm not putting him in the 10. That's why I'm not putting him in the 10.
Imagine, chat, brother, midfielder Rooney, Lampard, Scholes. What we doing here? Come on, man. That's not gonna.
No, but we're not okay. But we're not doing. Oh, how would this team work together? We're doing all time.
A little bit of realistic. Do you get what I'm saying? You can't put.
But Frank was too nice. You can't not put Frank, bro.
He used to play. Frank Lampard used to play it sometimes as a fucking up front with fucking Drogba. He used to be the final man in the box. There's no
because he was an elite. He was an elite poacher, but.
Then no Kante. Bro, okay, cool.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, no. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like no Kante, but that's why I'm not arguing Kante. That's why I'm only arguing if he's gonna put Rooney in the 10, then all I'm gonna argue is Frank in the midfield as one of the 8s.
Then you're getting more players than me, brother. That ain't how it's working, bro.
Okay, you got Ronaldo, right? Yeah, I would give you guys Ronaldo. That's what I'm saying. We'll come back. We'll come back to it.
Yeah. Ronaldo on the right. Yeah, I think we could all agree with that. You know what I'm saying?
No question. Listen, shout out Robin and all these men, but Ronaldo's too nice, bro. There's
But
nothing
on
to
the
say.
left, you've got Hazard, bro. I'm putting Hazard in definitely.
Yeah, I
One
put
of my
Hazard in
favourite
for
players.
sure. Yeah,
Exactly. So now what? Now what? And then even in striker,
and you're putting Rooney, but you're putting Drogba.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, because you're not putting Rooney in the 9, right? So
Yeah, but even then, we've got good strikers. Van Persie was one, but I put where's fucking
yeah, but
Hazard?
Drogba in the big.
Yeah, but this is what I'm saying. I'll swap Ivanovic out. I'll swap Ivanovic out and put Neville in. Because otherwise you're gonna have 8 players and I'm gonna have 4.
I'd be willing to do Ivanovic for if you put Frank. That's a trade I'm willing to make.
Oh, no worries.
That's a trade I'm willing to make. I'll give you that, bro. Because not having Frank in that midfield, bro, I can't.
Well, there you go, right? Neville, and then what you put Frank Lampard in the pivot, yeah?
Yeah, and then you put Rooney in the 10, and then that's pretty much, and then Drogba, and we're good. That I'm down. I'm down with.
Anyone else? Any other shouts? Big up to everyone in the chat. Rooney over Drogba. Yeah, but Rooney's going in the 10.
Yeah, Rooney's going in the 10.
Any other shouts? Like, what are you saying?
Like the only thing is like some old heads, right? Like some old heads who watch maybe some of the other United, like the older United teams might be able to argue it, but we haven't watched it, so.
Yeah, watch it, Cantona.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. We haven't watched it, so I can't really speak on it. I mean, shout out Tevez, but I don't know. He's making an all time, bro. That's kind of crazy.
No chance.
Yeah, he's not making all time. Let's just say shout out Tevez, but he's not making all time.
I wouldn't piss on him if he was on fire. Like, you know what I'm saying? He's one of them cunts. Nah, fuck him, mate. He ain't getting into this team, bro. Do you know what I'm saying? I mean, who's a player that shit? I'd rather put Højlund in this team. I think we'll go Drogba because Drogba, I mean, his big game records speaks for itself, bro.
I hear
I'm saying he's the best. For me, I think he's one of the best strikers of all time. That's what I'm saying. That we're doing the defensive work. That's why I'd rather put Kante or personally than Lampard.
He never really had any crazy seasons with numbers on Drogba, but he turned up in the big moments. He only had one season where he really went like super crazy in terms of numbers.
I'm talking about in the midfield, yeah. Lampard. That's what he's saying. Who will do the defensive work? Because I'd put Kante Keane ahead, but you've got Essien and Makalele as well. You've got so many chances of.
We have too many DMs. I know, but in terms of DM, but it feels wrong to not have Lampard there. Nah, Caicedo, he's too young, bro. But no, man, I feel like I agree. You could put all time DMs because Chelsea. One thing we've had all time DMs. I agree with you. But to tell somebody, to tell somebody though that, for example, to tell somebody, okay, all time 11, I'm gonna put in Conte over Frank. I don't know, bro. I don't know, man. Like I love Conte, man. Shout out Conte, but
Matic as well. Yeah, you're right. Matic as well. Oh my days.
Yeah, it was a demon. That's true.
Bro, that midfield is going to get run through, bro. We've got 14 people inside, people. Make sure you hit the sub button. Get me to 605 subs if there ain't 5 of you that ain't subscribed yet. I don't know, bro. I don't know because I would put fucking Kante or Makalele.
No, I agree. I'd put Kante, but am I putting Kante over Frank? Like taking away how this team plays, am I putting Kante over Frank in an all time? I don't think so, bro.
Why? Kante's done more in his career than Lamps in terms of.
Yeah, but bro, he was in terms of trophies and stuff.
Yeah, World Cup.
Yeah,
he didn't win the Euros, but he got to the final. No, he won the league with Leicester. He won the league with you. He won the champs, and he was unreal in the Champions League as well.
I mean, I love Conte. I think he's underrated. But I don't know, man. If you want to put Conte, you can put Conte. But I just think a midfield without Frank, bro, I don't know, man. I loved Frank, Brand, as a kid. I don't know what to tell you. So
it should be 4-3-3, but then it'd be the same. It'd be the same team, bro. It'd be the same team because it's basic 4-2-3-1 is basically 4-3-3. Just
it does not change much. It does not change much for us.
It doesn't change anything to this shit.
Yeah, like it doesn't do much of anything. So up to you, bro.
I would personally put Kante or Keane, but it's up to you. It's your player.
But that's what I'm saying. I agree with comments. That's what I'm saying. Like in terms of that's what I'm saying. Like that's what I'm saying. If you don't, Frank is legit top 2 player for Chelsea. But that's what I'm saying. Like in terms of what this team on screen needs, I agree. Conte. If what this team on screen needs is Conte, but an all-time 11.
Rooney or Lampard. I was like, because you've got the top 2 players for Chelsea, but then you've got top 5 players for Manchester United. It's Man United's top goal scorer, and he's ex-Man United captain.
But that's why I was fine with just Rudy Frank. You're the one who's upset that Conte's not there more than me.
That my OCD's kicking in, bro. I can't.
That's fine. That's like I don't got a problem with
Lampard
Lampard
and
Rooney.
Scholes, would it work? I don't know. I mean, Scholes. When we saw him with Gerrard,
That's what I'm saying. Like I would be fine with this all-time 11. But you know, the thing is, Drogba. It's not about Drogba's consistency because remember I already told you like it's not about Drogba being able to score throughout the Premier League season. It's the fact that he showed up in big moments, bro. We're talking goals in every finals, man.
Drogba shouldn't be included. He was inconsistent. Rooney was inconsistent towards his latter career, but he has played in the Premier League career longer. But Drogba was so good in the big games.
He was.
I mean, I wouldn't mind. I wouldn't. Don't worry.
You know. Okay. But like, if this really messes you up, then I would push Rooney up to 9, put Frank in the 10, then put Conte behind him.
Hold on. How many players do you got then? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, 6. You got some more players than me anyways.
But it fixes your OCD then. Because I take away Drogba, put Rooney in the 9.
I'd rather Drogba in. I'd rather Drogba in.
I agree, which is why I'm saying don't change it. You're the one who wants Conte in the team.
Drogba was so good in big games, bro. Yeah, Rooney was decent in big games, but Drogba was one
No, I know, bro. No, I was telling the story the other day, bro. But when I was a kid watching the final, bro, I was in tears because I really thought we were finna lose. And then when Drogba put that header in, bro, that was one of the best moments of my life, bro. That's like a childhood memory, forever ingrained in me. Anyways.
Yeah, I'm gonna read some of these comments for a wrap up. That's the team I'm gonna go with then.
Yeah, we'll go with this.
We'll do this before we wrap up.
Let's not talk about them defensively, but offensively, they'll cook.
That's not the case. Caicedo hasn't been better than Ryan Yatis or Tonali, but constantly put him as one of the best DMs or CMs. It's not true. What do you think of that?
I mean, that's just cap. I don't know what to tell you. Like anybody who has a working pair of eyes knows Caicedo has been one of the best DMs in the league. The eyes prove it.
Big Ryan been better than
Yeah, but at some point, like you just don't have to respond to rage bait. You feel me? Like it's clearly rage bait. Like, listen, I think Tonali's good, but even in this game, even in the Newcastle game, I think Caicedo was better than Tonali. Like taking away the goal. I think Tonali's a great player. I think I'm not dissing any of the players that you named, but I think Caicedo is literally like neck and neck with Gravenberch. I think Gravenberch is above because he won the league, but I think Caicedo's great, man.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of Barca fans are against Rashi coming to Barca, but Rashi himself publicly admitted that it's his dream to play for the Blaugrana. Yeah. I think he's spelled it wrong though. I don't think it's that it is. So why not? Just on loan for 2 seasons, who can go? No, mate. If you want Rashford, you pay 40 million, brother.
That's I was about to say, like, bro, United aren't looking to loan him again. They want him to like just a clean slate. Yeah, they want him gone. Yeah, they want him gone. So
get him out of my football club, man.
You have to be prepared to buy him. Yeah, you'd have to be prepared to buy him.
If Spurs lose this, they will have a higher chance of becoming the next Everton of the 2010s, or even possibly worst case scenario, the Leeds United 2000s. They won't get relegated.
They won't. If they were ever gonna get relegated, it would have been this season, bro. But the teams that came up were so trash.
So shit. Do you know what I'm saying? So shit.
They were all so bad. They're all so bad, bro.
Yeah, I mean, we could have got relegated. If they were any decent, we probably would have got relegated. But
I mean, there are seasons when people have been relegated on like the point tallies that you guys are currently on, but it's too.
That's a weird way to look at it.
It's too much.
A lot of our points tallies as well has come against the relegation team. They've been shit.
Plus, you guys have players in your teams that are always gonna get you in more points than relegation teams. It is what it is. Like somebody like Casemiro, Maguire, Bruno, Ahmad. They're gonna get you games that you just shouldn't have no business getting 3 points out of. So it is what it is.
Liam Delap fancies a move to United. Not too bad considering his release clause is 30 million euros.
Yeah, because he got relegated. So his release clause is.
He's worth every penny. He's a decent player. Man. Bellingham went for 100 million. So by the way, so it's not that he's overpaid for Enzo. He should have been like 70 max.
But that's why I said the market's overinflated. That's not like on Enzo. That's just the way that the market is.
Doué has barely played football. Try and compare him to someone on the level of Yamal. Yamal's clear of Doué, bro. Anyone that says Doué is anywhere near Yamal is deluded.
Yamal for me is the best player in the world right now, bar none. So
Doué's not better than Ahmad. It's so clear and better. Compare him to like Gula or Gavi. No, he's better than Gavi. When we say Gavi, he's better than Gavi.
Gavi's carried by the fact that people associate him with Pedri. Respectfully.
Literally, they thought he was going to be because his name is similar to Xavi as well, isn't it? Do you know what
I told you, bro. Like it's yeah.
Ugarte, Rasmussen, Garnacho. I wonder how they made it this far. I wonder how they became professionals, bro. To be honest, last summer I only predicted Masraoui, Euro, and to extent Xerxes to be good signers. To be fair, you're 2 out of 3. But Euro's more potential. Like Euro next season, people.
Euro also was unfortunate because he's been dealing with the injuries and stuff. So
yeah, next season Euro is going to be a bad boy. If Amarin stays, Chelsea finishes higher. Fairs. If Ineos gets rid of Arsenal, is considered a success. Yep, Arsenal and Garnacho.
But who even buys Højlund though? That's my issue, bro. Like legitimately.
I think someone might take him out on loan. I don't know if they'll buy him.
I agree. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Buy.
Yeah, Amarin should be sacked regardless of the Europa final result. I disagree. Nothing is impossible. While RSM is saying this for evidence that backs up his claims. Yeah, cool. We'll see them, won't we, in the future, bro?
That's literally that's my whole argument is we will see. I think we need to see a full season of Amarin to really understand what's about him because he got presented with a really poor squad. That's
you got hit with a raid, by the way.
Me?
Yeah, you got hit with a raid from something FC, I think.
Hey, listen, shout out, man. Yo, shout out everybody who rated. Yo, give me I don't know. It doesn't tell me. YouTube has been really, really poor with telling people when they get rated. So I have no clue.
Casually FC.
Chelsea. Marshall, yo, shout out all my Chelsea brethren, yo. Shout out Marshall, man. If you haven't liked the stream, if you haven't subbed. I'm on the road to 1K. So if you could sub up, that'd be great. Greatly appreciated. Thank you very much. And Touchline is he's linked in literally the title of the video is his @ you click it and it opens a new page and you're at his channel. So sub up to him too.
Yeah, I'm gonna wrap up anyways here because I've done 1 hour and 45. Bless up for coming on. Shout your channel out, bro, and what you got coming up.
Yeah, so I got the United game coming up, and then obviously everybody's gonna be wanting. Everybody, is glazing Anthony. They're Anthony's gonna. All right, bro. Let's see. Show up to my watch along when we watch Anthony 93rd minute get a banger of a goal to cut the lead down to 4-1. You feel me? Be there.
Yeah, I hit 600 ages ago, bro. Big up to everyone that's come through, man. Get me to 605 people. I'm gonna get to 1,000 ASAP, bro. I've gone through 500 to 600 like that, bro. Less than about 3 weeks. I've gone through 500 to 600. So bless up to everyone for coming on. Bless up to Will for the raid as well. Anthony Master,
bless up, man.
Facts, bro. Make sure you hit the sub button. Come on, get me to 605 if we can. And casually wherever we are the famous CFC casually raided.
Yes, sir.
Casually we're the famous CFC casually raided. Big up to everyone. I'm gonna wrap up. Bless up to RSM. I've got what's tomorrow? Thursday. I don't know if I've got anything planned on Thursday, but I'll be live Friday for the watch long Chelsea versus Man United, and then I'll be live Saturday for the FA Cup final watch along between Crystal Palace and Manchester City, and then I'll be
Crystal
live.
Palace, man.
There'll be another stream as well on a Sunday or Thursday. I probably will do a stream. If I don't do a stream tomorrow, I'll do a video. I'll do something tomorrow to make sure. You're
streaming the final, right? Imagine.
What final? The FA the Europa League final. Yeah.
Europa. Yeah.
Yeah, 100%. I'll be live for the final. But yeah, bless up to everyone for coming through. I'm out, people. Bye.
Peace. Yo, have a good one, brother.